What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to yet another edition, rendition, some would even say.
Oh, love
Uh,
JJB. Thank you, JJB.
he
You're
said
too
there's
kind.
baseball on here. I will find it, especially when this shit is platinum like you guys. you know? You feel it,
Platinum.
dog?
I'm doing
You
a
feel it,
dance, but
dog?
you can't see it.
Listen, I'm going to be straight up from the beginning right now. Your boy has a little bit of a cough,
Mm-hmm.
so I apologize to everybody if I start hacking up coughs throughout the show. I'm going to try and mute myself when it happens, but when we have to stream on Colorcast and on the streamer, a little difficult doing it on both. So if you hear anything, my bad. Stop smoking. Never a day in my life, Barry. Literally not once. So no smoky over here. Drinking? Well, then you can talk to me. Legally, of course.
Yeah,
21.
man, I drink a lot of water myself. Whew, love it.
I do have a water right here too. To hope I got a cough drop in the mouth. I'm trying everything.
Good.
I'm taking coughing medicine. I mean, listen, I'm trying because I only put on the best show for our people, Michael. But the
Come on,
most
man.
important thing.
Let's put a we in there. How about that?
Listen, I don't know if you put your best foot. I don't know if you put your best foot forward. I don't know. I can only speak for myself, Michael.
Anyways, thanks for asking, man. I'm doing great.
I was gonna say the only important thing that matters is how are you doing, my guy?
Well, just literally walked in the door from work. Now that time change has changed, moved forward, which I think is one of the dumbest things ever.
No, I think when we lose the hour, it's stupid, or gain the hour, it's stupid. Listen, I think the whole
when it springs forward, whichever it is.
Just all I'm saying, just leave it at one time.
Just whatever
why
it is.
Why do we got to move back and spring ahead? And
I don't know. Fall's my favorite because we gain an hour of sleep. That is. There's different ways of looking at it. But anyway,
Michael, funny story about that before you go on. I was out.
Really care about my feelings or anything?
No, of course I don't actually, but I have to make it look good. We were. I was out last Saturday when the time changed, and it goes what it doesn't go from 1 to 2. It goes from 1 to 3, right? Because we skip over 2. I believe that's how it goes.
Sure.
And I looked down at the clock and it said 3:30, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, it's 3:30 and I'm still out right now." I was like, "Bro, we're bugged." I was like, "We gotta go." And then I literally got back to the car because I was DDing that night. Nice guy.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Oh wait, I forgot." Time went ahead. We lost the hour, so we weren't really out that late. Stupid me. But continue, Michael. How are you? Good? You good?
I mean, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. We'll just leave it at that. How about you, Connie? Let's hear more about you.
Well, I mean, I love talking about me. Don't get me wrong. Connie smoking moon rocks? Nah, never. Besides the cough, I'm chilling. Like I said, I'm on spring break right now. I took the week off work as well. I was supposed to go down to the condo. My friend bailed on me, so I decided to just stay here. So listen, I'm chilling though, big chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Josh in here already too. Sup, fellas? That Freeman signing is crazy, right? Josh, it is crazy. Now, Michael, here's the thing: for all the stuff that we could, for all the stuff that we could not talk about during the lockout, now we got all these things to talk about. We got too much to talk about almost.
Too much, and almost too much to even know what happened. Like everything happened so fast. There was a point that I think I actually just said, you know what, I'm lost. I'm just wake up and try to catch up with Twitter, catch up on ESPN, catch up with something, try to figure out what happened there. Spend half the show on Freeman. It's worthy. Nah.
Michael, I don't know. Where do you want to start? We can start with. I mean,
Freeman's already been brought up, so let's just go ahead and start there.
Start with Freeman. So
I'm let down with that. I really am.
Michael, I'm not let down, and I'm let down. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of rumors that Mr. Fredward Freeman was going to end up in the AL East and not on the Yankees. So I was a little concerned when that was happening, especially if he was going to the Blue Jays.
To my Blue Jays.
Jays. See, Michael's the fakest fan I've ever seen in my life. Calls me a fair weather fan on the show. And then
we'll get to that.
Now.
We'll get to that.
No, we're not getting to it. It's fraud. You're fraud.
We'll get to it.
Let's see. I'm trying to find his contract right now. 6 years, 162 million. He signs with the Dodgers. I think that'll take him. Ooh, Michael. Oh, the Reds are legit contender this year. Contender for a top 5
contender
pick.
For tank, yes, absolutely. They are going for 100 losses this year. Honestly, we're at Freeman right now, but you know what? I'm going ahead and just going with this a little bit since we're here. At first, I completely hated what the Reds were doing. The Reds did everything that they could to make me mad and want to just switch fan base, basically. And listen, I've found some more Facebook fan pages where it's all about the Reds and how much they're saying sell Bob, the owner, needs to sell and all this stuff. But at the same time, you got to make some hard choices. For us, we are a small market, and I'm not getting into deep of that because I don't believe 100% of the small markets that much anymore. You've converted me a little bit. So here's my thing, though. If we're going to trade like what we did and just basically empty our pockets.
Now, can you just for the people, who did you trade again?
Who did we trade?
Yeah.
Okay, we traded Jesse Winker. We've traded Sonny Gray. We didn't sign back Wade Miley. Let him go on a $10 million contract. Let's see here. Sonny Gray. Who else have we traded? Amar Garrett. We traded him away. And, Suarez as well. Suarez. That was the fifth, I think. So I don't know why we haven't traded Joey Votto. As much as I love him, he is like a quarter, if not more, of our salary at like $24,000 or $24 million. Like, if we're really going to tank, let's go all out and tank. Like, let's win at tanking at least. Like, why not start completely fresh? Give the guy who has been completely loyal. In one of the interviews that they were doing with him, was like, so what's your mindset this year? He said, I've been loyal to him. I've never asked for a trade. I've never done anything. Oh, let Barnhart go too, as one of the comments in here from Gunner. Yeah, we let Barnhart go over to Detroit, which I think was sad. But Stevenson, I think, is going to step in there from his rookie year last year and play great. But anyways, so Votto has done nothing but be loyal to the Cincinnati Reds fan base and everything for over a decade. And we've done nothing for him. We got close in like 2013. We got close in 2020. Not even close to really do anything, but we made the playoffs. So we need to let him go somewhere where he can actually have a chance and say, thank you. We're going to dump your contract and go ahead and go all out with this. Like, don't have to do it. Go ahead and do it all. So, but here's why I'm okay with, I'll say I'm not okay with it, but I can lick my wounds and understand maybe there's a future for us here because Nick Senzel is a 2-year veteran who has been hurt quite a bit. He's still fresh, still young. We've got Jonathan India, Rookie of the Year last year. We've got Stevenson behind home plate, who was a rookie last year. We've got Farmer, Kyle Farmer, who's still quite young. And then even some of our pitchers. We got Hunter Green, who's been a prospect for a couple years. He had Tommy John surgery a year ago, so iffy there, but he's our best prospect right now. We've got, I want to say it's Lolodo. I can't remember. It's something to that effect. It's like Lodolo is his last name, who is a good pitcher as well. So we've got these two good pitchers coming up. Lodolo. Okay. Thank you, JJB. And so there is a good core that could come together pretty quick. We make a couple of moves during an offseason coming on here. The Reds could be okay very fast. Oh, thanks, Josh. Saying, I guess beard looking kind of great. Josh, if you want some tips on this, I've got another tip of how to make it look better. I tried it today, and I've got a couple of compliments. Hit me up. I'll let you know the tricks. But anyways, Connie, I'd let you know the tricks on the beard, but, it's finally attached up here. Anyways, so I'm not totally devastated with the Reds. I feel like there is at least somewhat of a plan. We just got to put a Band-Aid on a broken leg for a little bit, and maybe 2023 we can see a promised land coming out here. So I'm okay. I would have loved to keep Winker, but we've got, I want to say, 7 of the next top 25 players now in prospects. So, we got some good prospects from these deals, or maybe it's 34. somewhere around there. We got like 7.
Look at the MLB top 100 prospect list. I'll tell you how many are Reds. I'll count it for you. But keep going. I'll count in my head, obviously.
So, I mean, here's the thing. Everybody's like, sell the team. You know, you're a disgrace, Bob. I can't remember his last name. Krell, I think it is. But at the same time, by dumping on this, we're rebooting. If you really think about it, I remember back, I don't know if you're old enough to know this, the Astros used to suck really bad.
Oh, yes, they did.
Okay, they were in the NL Central when they sucked. They were pitiful, blew like everything they could do, and was at the bottom. They transferred. They switched to the.
You have 3 players in the top 100 prospect list.
Or is it? Are you sure it's updated? Because with the trades and everything.
I mean, I would assume.
Because on Bleacher Report,
but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You could be right about that, but I'm just looking at this list right now on MLB.com.
Okay,
that's what it
is. Is that the 2021?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's not the 2022 yet.
2022. See, I'm stupid. You're right, Michael.
Okay, because the only reason why I know that because I looked at the other day or yesterday, I think it was, and it didn't have the 2022 update yet. So here's my thing: don't abandon ship yet. Let's just see this pan out a little bit, okay? I hope maybe this year we trade Votto at the trade deadline before the trade deadline to a contender team. Maybe get some more prospects, and let's just see if we can blitz it all at once.
4.
Okay, 4 in the top 100.
One more. Yeah, you have the number 22 with Hunter Green.
Okay.
You have the. Hold on, I'm scrolling. You have the number 87 with Matt McLean.
Mm-hmm. Is he a third baseman?
No, he is Matt McLean is a shortstop. Oh, you have number 76 with Ellie De La Cruz. And let's see if I'm skipping over other people. I must have. Oh, Lodolo, number 42.
Okay. Because I think we got some more from at least those trades. Like all those that you mentioned were our guys already. Okay. I'm going to try to look through the list real quick. See, I can't remember who we exactly got right away, but there was someone kind of high. I want to say it was like in the top 7. Did we get Julio Rodriguez from the Mariners? Because he's the top 3 prospect.
You guys got back Brandon Williamson and Jake Fraley, and right-hander Justin Dunn, and a player to be named later.
Dunn, I think is who it was. No, player then named later was who it was. I can't remember because it was an information that was saying that there was a top 7, I think it was. It may be the top 34. But maybe I was wrong on that. Anyway, still though, there is at least hope, I think, what we got going on here. So I'm okay. That blew my mind out because I heard you cough on my phone instead of the
listen, like I said, it's a little difficult because I got the comments up on my phone so I can see. And
Now, I want to hold up here and ask JJB this because he says Nick Senzel is going to be that guy. See, what bothers me about Nick Senzel is he's been hurt off and on and the whole time he's been up here. And what I don't understand is last year we were hurting shortstop big time. And we just said we're going to lick our wounds and hope Suarez can do shortstop, and we're still going to try to do the analytical numbers and get through it. It backfired. But Nick Senzel's main position shortstop, but we moved him to center field to bring him up faster because Billy Hamilton was a flop for us and couldn't make it as far as batting average, the whole 9 yards of that. So we moved Senzel to outfield. I don't know why we haven't considered moving Senzel to the infield. You got any thoughts on that, JJB? And I'm sure it'll take you a little bit to type.
JJ says. But yeah, I was a little surprised that they went so far into the trades. I thought that because they just missed the playoffs last year, didn't they?
Actually, they were talking about if the lineup was or the scheme for the playoffs now, we would have made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, so I'm a little surprised that they did it, but I mean, you're also right in the fact that they traded Barnhart before. They weren't going to re-sign Castellanos. So, I mean, that's 2 players right there that you're already taking away. So maybe they think right there that makes them not good enough to get into the playoffs, and then you trade for some prospects. I mean, I clicked on the names. Brandon Williamson, he was a 36th round pick in the 2018 June amateur draft, and then he was but then he was a second round pick in 2019. So
yes, that's who we
sorry, that could help a little bit. And then Jake Fraley, in 2021, he batted .210, 9 home runs. So he was also a second round pick. Hey, Michael, this might give you some confidence. It was by the Rays, though. You know?
Yes, but the Rays let him go, which makes me
true. You know what? That's always the scary part when they let somebody go. But I don't know. I'm hoping that your season isn't awful, Michael, because nobody wants that. Nobody.
Well, I mean, I know we've joked about this, and I've already said that I'm going to be cheering for the Blue Jays, which I'm going to be cheering for the Blue Jays, but I'm going to be a diehard Red fan no matter what. I need something to cheer for this year, so I'm going to come at you with the Vlad love and the Bichette.
I don't blame you. All right. Well, listen, we kind of started it off that way until we got into your Reds talk, but
so
that's
we back up to Freeman.
Exactly, that's A-okay. So the Dodgers, let's see. Ooh, JJB got a little hot take here. The hot take is I think they've decided, look, we're not going to get over the hump with Sonny Gray and then having to pay Winker. The Cubs and Cards should be hitting reset. They're not so hot about we pound the button now and then go ahead and get ahead. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that either.
I kind of feel like we're almost jumping ahead of everyone, if that makes sense. And I kind of agree with what you're saying there, JJB. Like, we know things are going to be changing soon and the ceilings and everything going to be changing in the year to year, that I almost feel like, well, okay, let's go ahead now before everything changes. We can pay more money. We've got the more salary that we can try to throw at everyone else and blitz a team together. So that's what I'm hoping for. At first, I was super pissed. I was so mad at the Reds did this. Reds traded this guy. I was totally fine that Garrett got traded. He's never been a great pitcher. The only thing that he's really done great was that he took on the whole Pirates dugout 1-on-50 and still try to fight them off.
So I think the Cubs signings and Correa rumors are like how we can jump them in the future. I don't know what Correa is going to do, man. Well, I'm going to get into Correa later in the show. All right. Now we'll do Freeman after JJB with his hot take. I love that. So he signs a 6-year. Let me make sure the number is correct. 6-year, 162. If you do the math on that, which I'm going to do at the very moment, 162 million divided by 6, got him at 27 million a year. I mean, let's be real here. The lineup is ridiculous. Like, the Dodger lineup coming up this season is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I believe it was Jeff Passan that tweeted it out that he had never seen a lineup like this in his 20-plus years of covering baseball. Exactly. He said, in 20 years covering baseball, not sure I've seen a better lineup than the one the Dodgers will use this season. In some order, it's going to be Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Trey Turner, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger, Justin Turner, Chris Taylor, and A.J. Pollock. And he's right. I mean, that is an unbelievable lineup. Like, to the point where it's like you're almost constructing an all-star team on one team. You can look at this and say that is because Michael,
the LeBron James of the NBA.
No, I was gonna say, like, you don't see many super teams in baseball where like you get a bunch of very good, very known players together.
Are you not a Yankees fan?
Michael, but like, what super team did we ever have?
I mean, I'm just, let's try to think about that a little bit. I mean, it may take me a few minutes. I mean, was there not Jeter and A-Rod on the same team?
Well, first of all, Jeter was drafted and developed by the team.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay, but they got Mookie in the trade. They signed Freeman. I don't know.
Stanton, yeah, I think that was a super team move there. I totally agree on that. And I miss him being Mike. Can he not go back to Mike Stanton?
You know, it's funny because, like, I'll go back sometimes when I get really bored. Actually, no, not anymore. But, like, when Xbox didn't have a baseball game, I used to, like, break out my old, like, Xbox 360 and play MLB, like, 2K. And on there, I think the last one they made was 2K12, and on there he's Mike Stanton.
Right.
So I was always confused. Stanton
You know
was
why he
super
changed
cheap,
his
but,
name,
like,
don't you?
what?
Do you know the conspiracy of why he changed his name? I say
I
conspiracy.
have no idea.
Well, he was playing for Miami, and they went with the whole new build of the stadium and everything, and how they went with instead of it being the Florida Marlins, so Miami Marlins, and did the whole Hispanic theme there. That's why he changed his name. Which it was cool. I liked it actually, but I miss Mike. I mean, Mike is such a solid name.
No, it's too close to Michael, which kind of just ruins everything. You know what I mean?
I guess.
So, but I mean, if you look at the team, right, the Dodgers are going to have Mookie, the former MVP, Freddie, MVP, Cody Bellinger, MVP. I believe Max Muncy hit over like 300. I was about to say 300, 30 home runs last year. Justin Turner's a very solid player. I think Pollock hit in the 290s or something like that. I mean, it's an unbelievable lineup. And Michael, the craziest part about it is they still might not win. It's possible.
I don't think they will. I really don't.
Like, because here's the thing, right? We've seen some very, like, what was it, 2001? When the Mariners won like 117 games, they broke the Yankee single season record or regular season record. And then they lost, even though they were obviously very good. Like, we've seen good teams losing the playoffs because, you know, everybody says it in baseball too that, you know, you can only go so far as your pitcher.
Right.
Because momentum in baseball is a very weird thing. Like, you know, I feel like in other sports, it really does reign true. Like, if all of a sudden you go on a 10-0 run in basketball, like, the momentum's on your side, can kind of carry you through that game. If you score a touchdown, they get an interception, the momentum in football is really on your way. You could score 35 runs in a game, and then the next night be shut out. And the worst part about that, Michael, is it doesn't even have to be against a great pitcher. How many times have the Reds played somebody and you're like, oh, you know, their fifth starter is pitching right now. We're about to win, you know, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you lose, you know, 6-0. And it's like, well, what happened?
I think Mommy's downstairs, big man.
Oh, look at that. Michael has to do dad duties.
It's pitch black down there.
I think she's trying to go to sleep, like you should be.
Oh, see?
All right, good night, bub.
Love you. You got him with a love you. You got one. No, love you?
Love you, buddy.
Yeah, see? Look at this. Look at this. Fellas, do you think they should have re-signed Max instead of giving Freddie the bank? See?
I think so.
But you see, Dodgers have always been very good with pitching.
I mean, they still don't know if Bauer's going to be pitching for him because he's not there.
His leave got extended again today, by the way.
Oh, really? I missed that. And then I think Buehler is in place to possibly be
he's their best pitcher right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be. Well, I'm saying Cy Young possibly this year. Like he was a front runner last year. I actually tried to pick him, or he was my pick for front runner, and then he got hurt for a while. You know, come to think about it, I made some really good picks last year. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
I really did. Buehler, Vlad. I mean, I even said the Braves and White Sox in the World Series, but you know, I did pretty good.
Buehler, Urias, Kershaw, still really nice. Aren't they getting back that redhead? What was his name? Perry will know, Mr. Dodger fan. David Price, yeah, he's on the team too. Dustin May, thank you. I don't know why I wanted to say Taylor May, but it's not Taylor May. It's Dustin May. Tony Gonsolin.
Ain't that golf something?
Taylor May? No, isn't Taylor May like the dude who like sells stuff at late night, like Clorox or something?
I don't know. You got me.
No, but I think I would have taken Freddie over Max, especially because listen, as much as I love Max, Billy Mays, see, JJB, you're the MVP of the show so far. But the reason I would sign Freddie is because even with Max, remember last year he had the shoulder problems where he kind of complained about a dead arm at the end of the year, and he's now a year older. So I mean, it's not like that problem's going to get any better. If anything, it's going to get worse. So as much as I love Max going to the Mets, and I think that makes it a big deal, you're going to have to be careful with him. To be completely honest, you're going to have to, regulate his innings, and maybe if it's that 7-0 game, Michael, in the third inning, instead of like, oh yeah, Max, you can go out there and pitch 6. Be like, listen, I know you're probably going to hate us right now, and you might not get the win here. I'm taking it out after 4, guy. Because it's a 7-0 game. Like, you might have to start doing things like that with him. So that's why I would take Freddie. And I mean, you're adding another MVP to the lineup. I can't really complain about that.
So you think Max maybe, I'm going to say this loosely, on a pitch count this year?
I could see it.
You really do? Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I can only see it in a situation like that. Like, I don't think if it's a 1-0 game, in the fourth inning, they're going to be like, listen, Max, you're pitching 5, and that's it. But like I said, if it's, maybe the Mets have a big game, it's 10-0 in the second
inning.
Well,
that's never going to happen. It's the Mets.
Well, hey, you never know.
But I don't think
in the second inning, at the fifth inning, they're like, listen.
In the second inning or fifth inning?
No. Like, if it's 10-0 in the second inning, and then Max is pitching, and it's like the fifth inning, they'd be like, listen, you don't need to go the sixth. You don't need those extra,
Well, I mean, minimum. Fifth inning, sixth inning. Because, I mean, that's really how far they go anymore anyways. Because, we don't have starting pitchers. We have, what do we call them now? Opening pitchers?
Oh, yeah, openers.
Bunch of crap. It's like a wingman that just opened the conversation for you. What is this?
I love how you get mad about that.
It's dumb.
But it's a factual statement.
It's dumb. They need to ban that if they're going to ban the shift.
Can't wait for them to ban the shift, by the way. Can't wait.
Stupid.
Oh, man. All right. But.
What do you agree with there, JJB? I didn't know when you put that in there. The opening or the.
No, I hope he's talking about can't wait for them to ban the shift. I hope so. Openers.
Thank you. Listen, if you could see me, JJB, like we're right here, we're on point.
We're eye to eye, he would say.
Yeah, we were 2 peas in a
pod.
There we go. Didn't know if you knew that.
How would you not know that?
I mean, you don't know what buffaloed means.
Well, either does half of America. Everybody knows what peas in a pod means. Everybody.
I don't know, man. It buffaloes me. I think a lot of people knows that.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. Michael, here's another one that I want to get into. And I only want to get into it because I literally have never seen something dumber in my life.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Right now, MLB Ghost Runner likely back. Extra innings runs on second, extended towards. Went away.
Are you dead ass, huh? Are we being serious?
Yeah, this is from Heyman right now on Bleacher Report. Trending towards remaining in place for 2022. We just broke this. What? That's so dumb. I hate the Ghost Man.
What? There was literally a party going on when everybody found out that there was going to be no Ghost Runner.
JJ blocked Heyman. I'm okay with the Ghost Runner. I'm going to say this. Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm okay with the Ghost Runner. But I'm okay with the Ghost Runner in like inning number 13. Not extra inning. Like, give us a few innings to let it work out. I mean, it does add a little, like, I don't know, intense moments, quickly more urgent, I guess, if you will. Yeah, but I just think it's
take it away in the playoffs.
Yeah, like, I don't understand that. Like, if it's going to be through the season, leave it in the playoffs.
Like, you're literally changing the outcome of a game, and in the playoffs come, and never mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's like adding a 4-point shot in basketball during the regular season. And then the playoffs, you're like, never mind, we're going back to threes. Like, you don't do that. No other sport does that. Nobody.
Letting you train with, sticky substance through half the year and then say, oh, never mind, we're taking it away. Who else does? Oh, that's baseball.
Yeah. Baseball messes some things up. Quite a lot of things, honestly. Every team should now have a guy like Freeze in Atlanta, and if the fan wins, they had to be the Ghost Runner.
The Ghost Runner? I like it. Now, that would be fun. That would be nice.
See, and here's the thing too. I feel like if
What do you
you
feel like?
have a ghost runner, it would be allowed to be anybody on the team. Because right now the ghost runner is whoever made the last out of the inning, or when extra innings start, it's the person whoever made the last out of the previous inning, right?
Right.
I feel like that runner
Ooh.
should be anybody. Ooh, the other team should pick. I don't mind that either. Just get the fattest, slowest guy on the team.
What about this? Since it's universal DH, it has to be the DH.
That wouldn't be bad either.
Because it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the fastest person.
Now, I remember Benji Molina.
Yes.
He would be picked every single time. Never seen somebody that slow in my entire life. Never seen somebody that slow. I mean, it was just unbelievable, man. It looked like he was running in quicksand constantly.
Oh, we signed Johnny Cueto.
Did you? He's back?
We randomly signed Johnny Cueto back. After we traded him for nothing, we now signed him back 15 years later.
Well, Michael, listen, you want to talk about signing somebody for nothing, though?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I need someone to explain to me what the Rockies are doing. I need someone to do it for me.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, JJB. Thank you for joining, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, JJB. Appreciate you as always, brother. Because I am bamboozled.
You're Buffalo?
To quote the great Stephen A. Smith here, I'm bamboozled. I'm led astray, Michael, and I have been run amok with what the Rockies are doing. Because here's my thing, right? They're going to be terrible. Mm-hmm. And I mean like just bad. And a couple years ago, they signed Rockies are drunk at the last call asking for the bar mat for $5. They get rid of Nolan Arenado after signing him to a huge contract, who, by the way, throwing this out there, shouldn't really be that big of an opinion. Much better than Chris Bryant, by the way. Don't care. They trade him because they don't want the money on the books. Then Trevor Story's a free agent. They're not going to re-sign him because they don't want his money. And then you go out.
And they don't even trade him either. Like they don't.
No, yeah, that's the thing. They didn't even trade Trevor Story at the trade deadline when everybody and their grandmother thought that he was gone. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But then you give him 7 years, $182 million, $26 million a season. And Michael, he gave him a no trade clause. What are you doing? Here's the thing. First of all, the contract itself does not make sense. Congrats to Chris Bryant. I understand what he's doing. He got his ring already with the Cubs. He broke that streak. Mm-hmm. If I'm him, I wouldn't care about winning either. I'll be honest with you. I probably want to just put up numbers, try and get my way to the Hall of Fame. And playing in Colorado, he might hit 50 home runs next year, honestly. But
I mean, it's definitely weird, and it's hard for me to think like that, to think, hey, I just want my money. I could care less about winning or anything like that. But baseball is a bit different in that perspective. Like, you can be the best player in baseball and still have a losing team because it's an individual team sport. Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't matter where he plays, he's going to ball out, if you will, still, because Chris Bryant is very multitask. What am I trying to say there? He can play many. He's more versatile than a lot of players, where he can play outfield, third base. He can play a lot first base even too, I think. So I mean, he's going to be very pivotal for this team, but they're still not going to be relevant. I mean, I don't understand it. Like, it was the no trade clause really got me, because at first I was like, okay,
thank you. That's what I wanted to focus on.
Yeah, because it's almost like, okay, you got paid. That's great. But we know deep down in our hearts that later on we're going to trade you to somebody, and you're going to continue to get this money.
Yo,
but
Michael,
now that there's no trade.
Real quick, though?
Yeah. I mean, you usually do. What you got?
I also just looked at that, because you know how we said they're not going to be good?
Uh-huh.
I also just looked at the top 100 list for prospect. They don't have a single player on here. Not one.
Are you serious?
Not a single person.
Wow.
Oh, I lied to you. 36. They have one player I've seen so far. You're gonna change your whole franchise around with Chris Bryant and
with
the
Chris Bryant. I was gonna say, how old is he too?
Chris Bryant?
Yeah.
I still think he's fairly young, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. He's 30.
Oh, they signed Jose Iglesias as well.
I'm still good.
I mean, that's an okay sign. He used to play for the Reds and he was horrible. Then he goes to the Angels and
he's a shortstop, right?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he can play again.
The Yankees were looking at him for a little stopgap of a year.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the no trade clause is what really had me messed up because Michael, that's the thing, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, they signed him because you have him under contract now, so he puts up good numbers for 2 years, and then you just trade him away, and he's under contract anyway, so the other team trading for him doesn't have to worry about it. You have more value for him. But why would you give him the no trade clause then? Because now he can veto any trade. What if you got – let's live in a reality world here, right? What if you got the greatest offer ever from the Orioles or something like that, who have also been absolutely awful.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, bro, why would I want to go play in Baltimore? I'm good. I want you to trade me. What if he wants to be traded to
they only
Texas?
have one player in the top 100.
Yeah, what if he wants to be traded to the Rangers or something? And maybe the Rangers don't have any very good prospects at that time. The no trade clause is going to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Because don't get me wrong, they'll somehow end up getting a good, deal for him if they end up trading him, which a lot of people think. I do think they're going to trade him in 1 or 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
There is not, Michael, there is a 0% chance that he plays out this contract in Colorado. There's literally no chance in hell.
Absolutely.
But the fact that you give him a no trade clause where he now has power over you instead of you having power over him and just being able to be like, listen, I don't care where you want to go. We're trading you here because I said so. Michael's giving that eye. There must be somebody in the door.
I was freaking out a little bit. The door was creeping open and it was never open up all the way. And I could finally see in there a little bit. But it turns out it was just the cat.
I get spooked. Before we got on the show, my cat was knocking on my door. Couldn't let him in.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't leave the door open during the show. So
Yeah. Well, I had the door shut. My son opened it when he came in to say, "Hey, where's Mom?" Go on now, cat.
Michael, you haven't taught your son to close doors that were already closed?
It was shut most of the way. It just wasn't closed completely.
Listen, I'm gonna go on a rant here. My biggest pet peeve is when people don't close doors. There is nothing that annoys me more in this world than when people don't close my door.
Really?
If you come into my room and my room door is closed, close the door when you leave. There's no need for it to be open. I don't want it open.
I'm going to assume that would be you're mad at your parents on that when,
Oh, no, everybody does it, though.
Okay, well, I was just going to say, as a parent, I'd be like, I bought that door. If I don't want to shut it, I don't have to shut it. I mean, that's an argument that's legit, and one day you may understand that too.
No, it's not. It's not. I like my alone time.
But
I need to decompress when I come home from things.
I can't stand lights on. I have a stairwell that has a chandelier that hangs up really, really high. I have to put a ladder this way and then put actually a 2x12 out to even be able to reach it. It was not smart of me when I built this house. I should have lowered it. So I cannot physically stand when people leave that light on. It bothers me. I'm like, turn that light off, because every second that light's on, that's closer till I have to change that light bulb again. I want that light off as much as possible. And my kids, they'll just run up and down the stairs and leave the light on. I'm like, turn it off. It needs to stay off. And then when they flicker, because, they're 5, they're like on, off, on, off. I'm like, stop, it's going to blow. Freaks me out, man. Freaks me out. Almost makes me go bananas. Speaking of bananas.
Oh, I forgot about your little trip.
My little trip. Don't downplay it like that, your little trip. Dude, it was awesome. As he is referring to my little trip. This weekend, me and my nephew, Britt, actually chimed in there earlier. I don't know what he's saying. We went down south to Savannah, Georgia, where we actually watched the Savannah Bananas open their world tour that they're kicking off right now. And let me just tell you, if literally, Connie, if you get a chance to go see them anywhere close, you need to go see them. It was really awesome, everything they did. I put a bunch of stuff on Instagram like crazy. It was just a lot of fun watching what they do. The backflips like crazy. The pitch count that they do real fast. Like one inning, I think, lasted 1 minute, one half of the inning. I think he had one batter lasted 14 seconds. It was crazy. It was just quick pop, pop, pop. But a lot of fun. Dalton Cornett, of course, who we've had on the show many times, the bat here, he hung out with us quite a bit. He showed us around Savannah downtown after the games, before the games. Had an incident where he saved my life. Just quick, the keys in my car, started it up, and it was so cold, and somehow they fell out before I shut my door. Drove back to the hotel, turned the car off, was going to move it a little bit closer to a different spot, tried to turn it back on, wouldn't start because the key was not there. It fell out back at the stadium, and I was like, yo, Dalton, need you to come pick me up and take me right there. Luckily, we found them. Nobody had hit them or anything like that. Got them and got to.
Look at you. You're all bougie. You got one of those key fobs, not even an actual key.
Yeah. Listen, I'm so cool. I'm Gucci. All right.
Now Gucci's not cool anymore. Congratulations.
Wow. But actually, have reached
Michael,
out.
Michael, how are they going to call this a world tour when they're only going to Alabama and Florida?
They're not. They're going to Kansas too and some other places.
Well, listen, world. That's like 4 places.
Well, it's a mini tour, okay?
I was hoping.
World.
But listen, I was hoping that they were going to come to New York. I was going to go.
Well, they've only been open, I think, since 2016 or 17, this thing. And actually, they play in a collegiate tournament in the summer, too. But this is kind of a spinoff. And the best way to describe what they do during this tour is the circus mixed with WWE mixed with Harlem Globetrotters is how you could describe it. Like, Dalton plays for the Party Animals, which is the competitor to the Bananas, but they're all bananas, if that makes sense. Like, they're on the same team, but they can be traded around and whatnot. Yeah. But everything's more focused on the Bananas and what they all do. Like, just to give you this little quick bit, the way that they announce the Party Animals was they jumped over center field with some rockets going off in their hands and just shooting up. And I mean, they were partying. It was really cool as they come running. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun. Eric Byrnes, who used to play in the MLB as the coach for the Bananas, I think he played in the MLB for almost a decade. But Jesse is the owner. I say his first name like I know him. I just messaged him actually today on Instagram and just told him about everything and said we'd love for him to come on the show. He said he can't do a show right now on a podcast until their tour is over, but he said maybe in September he would love to come on the show and talk about it. The dude is a grinder. The owner is just straight up business minded. I just tell you this about him. Him and his wife sold everything they had to buy this stadium. And they lived.
I do remember hearing that about on the Sports Center feature thing that they did.
Yes, yellow suit guy, Perry. That's the owner, Jesse. But he sold everything, and they lived in the stadium and basically believed in themselves and turned it into what it is now. And what's crazy is Dalton did tell us, he said in sales, just the ticket in the first game, they did like almost $3 million in ticket sales. Will you shut the door, bub? The cat opened it up. The cat out, please. Love you. Thank you. But so it was super fun. It was the time of my life, and I can't wait to see them again. Right now, this weekend, they're going to be in Daytona playing where the red single A team plays. And get this is what's awesome, is their single A team, MLB's already told the Bananas that they have sold more tickets than the MLB minor league team sells.
Wow.
So it's super cool. It is a show. It's awesome. Actually, Perry, hey, go to tell you this real quick since he said watch the mini doc. They're actually doing a 7-episode mini series on them right now. It's not came out yet. And me and my nephew, we acted a fool the whole time. Like, we were cheering for the Party Animals, being stupid because everyone's cheering for the Bananas. So here we are cheering for the Party Animals. And I can't tell you all the story because technically something did happen illegally, but it was cool. So we went to the game before the game started. Was talking to Dalton while he was, pitching on the side or throwing on the side, loosening up. It's like, Dalton, can we get your autograph? Obviously, he knew we were playing. So this woman with a camera turns and looks at us and say, "Oh, do you guys love the party animals?" And instantly, I just went into character mode, thinking it's a camera here, local station, Savannah. Yeah, blah blah blah. Dalton's the best. Number 3, you need to be watching for him. He's going to make it to the MLB very soon. All this stuff. Well, after the game, when Dalton comes back to the hotel with us and hangs out some with us, he goes, "I didn't tell you this, but did you realize that was ESPN you were talking to?" I went, "Do what?" He said, "Yeah, that was ESPN you guys were sitting there acting a fool with." I said, "Okay, so we may make ESPN." He told me, he said, "Next time you try to reach out to somebody about trying to come on the podcast, you can say, ESPN asked you about the Savannah Bananas, your critique on them, and interviewed you with it." I'm like, you know what? Definitely going to do that. So
I think I'm going to start doing that when I ask for interviews.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't listen, would you like to come on the show? I formerly interviewed Trey Wingo, Don LaGreca. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
PJ Antone, of course.
That's right. I mentioned that. And, of course, Hayden, too. Perry, I did mention, too, Dalton down there. I said, look for Hayden, but he did say they weren't going to be there. I didn't know they were in Arizona. But our boy Hayden, he plays for Daytona that we had on our show. And I was telling Dalton about him. I said, look him up. He's the one that got basically signed from Reddit. He goes, how did that happen? So I tell him all that. I said, man, you need to go listen to her podcast, man. That was awesome. So, yeah, there's that.
Oh, that's good. Michael, did I tell you my first game is the 21st?
You did.
Of April, of course.
Oh, of April. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know, what your
third base camera, baby?
Okay. So have they told you what you can and cannot film?
I mean, I assume I'm doing the game. It's for the live stream of the game. I'm not making a documentary.
No. No offense, man, but I could see you accidentally getting into the crowd, zooming in on people, be like, hey, well, there's a 9, there's a 5, there's a 10. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. It really was a blast, by the way.
I'm waiting for, because that's the other thing too. I haven't gotten a email or nothing yet talking about when the training is. So I'm looking out for that one as well, because let me tell you something. I don't think your boy's gonna be able to just show up at the Renegades and all of a sudden be able to film the whole baseball game without a little, maybe a little pointer here or there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still waiting on the training email. But
right.
We'll see when that comes.
Soon.
See, I know how to do that. I would hope.
Hey, in all seriousness, you might want to reach out to what was his name? Boston.
Oh, yeah.
I have to look up. You know who I'm talking about?
Zach Hampton?
Well, not Zach, but his. Well, he mentioned us to holler at him in January, and honestly got sidetracked and seen a post by him earlier, and I thought, hey, we should actually probably reach out to him. But what was his name? Boston something other. I'm horrible.
I thought it was something about the Green Monster.
Well, that's why I was saying Boston. I thought it was like Boston Bob or Boston Joe. Wait, he lives in New York. Maybe it's New York something.
No, it definitely has something to do with it. Oh, whatever. Michael, the other baseball things to talk about.
Oh, whatever.
Let's see, Michael. You want to go with my boys or you want to go with Tatis?
Oh, you can go with your boys.
Go with my boys? Okay. So the Yankees made some interesting decisions.
Fenway Chris.
Okay. Green Monster, Fenway, close enough.
Boston.
Exactly. So the Yankees made some interesting decisions since the last episode. Listen, they didn't really have a shortstop. Nobody was really in love with Gary anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they had some decisions to make. They weren't happy with first base either. And they ended up trading Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela to the Twins for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Josh Donaldson, and then I believe a couple days ago they also re-signed Anthony Rizzo to go play first base. I think they got him on a 2-year deal with a opt-out after 1 year. I believe Donaldson has a couple years left on his contract, and then there's an opt-out. And Falefa, I believe, has a bunch of time left because I think he's still kind of newer. And I think it helps them, and I think it improves them. But to sit here and act like this is going to be like a slam dunk trade and signing Rizzo is a slam dunk, like I can't say that because I don't think it is.
Right.
If you want to believe in WAR and the analytics and everything like that, I believe Connor Falefa's WAR was somewhere in the 2s, and Josh Donaldson's was somewhere like a 4 or something like that. And like if you combined them, it added up to 7. And I think if you combined Gary's WAR and Gio, it was only like 1. So technically, that you technically improved your team by 6 wins if you look at WAR and you care about WAR.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this too: they didn't have a shortstop before. Glaber's going to move back to second. They did that at the end of the year because he felt uncomfortable at shortstop. I think it started to affect his hitting because he's not the best fielder at shortstop. Cashman should put himself in the deal. Yeah, there's some angry Yankee fans out there. Let me tell you. And so IKF is going to play short. Donaldson's obviously going to go to third. You got Rizzo at first now, and Glaber's going to be at second. That kind of leaves DJ in a weird spot.
I was going to say, where you got DJ at?
That's the thing. I don't know what they're going to do because, and here's the other thing to remember.
We'll take it.
Well, yeah. Oh, I need Castellanos. No, not Castellanos. Castillo and whoever else is actually good on that team that's left.
Castillos is going to go to the Dodgers, and we're going to get Bauer, unfortunately.
I don't know. You would love Bauer on your team.
I really
Michael
would.
worships the ground he walks on.
Anyway. You really think I do. But there's
no –
I mean, we're getting sidetracked. Keep going. We'll get to that. There's no other move for him, though. Like, nobody likes him. Nobody's going to take a chance on him. He did good with the Reds. Like,
hey, the Yankees do need pitching. I don't like him, but I would take him, even though I despise him. Although I think he hates Garrett Cole, and Garrett Cole hates him. I think. I'm not sure. Because I think they were teammates.
Bieber, wasn't it? Shane Bieber?
I thought it was Cole. Oh, no, maybe it was.
I think it was Bieber in Cleveland.
I don't know. We'll have to look it up. But, and because here's the thing that people kind of forget. When the Yankees originally signed DJ LeMahieu, he was not supposed to be what he is. Like, he was supposed to be the utility guy for the Yankees. Mm-hmm. And, when somebody needs a day off, he's going to step in and play kind of all over the field. But that was the year that Miguel Andujar, one of our prospects, had gotten hurt at third base, and we needed somebody to play. So he kind of ends up playing third base all year. And then, the next year he played too well that you can't just sit him. So he ends up playing second a lot, and they had lost Didi, so they just moved Glaber over to short, and then DJ played second. So he played excellent again. And then last year, he struggled a little bit, but he played every day. He definitely wasn't, a top 4 MVP candidate like he was the previous 2 years. But, I guess you're allowed to have a down year. And then they signed him to that contract, but I don't know what they're going to do because they're kind of in just a weird situation with everything. You're not going to platoon him and Rizzo. I don't think that makes sense because you have to remember Luke Voigt is still on the team. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're going to platoon, Glaber and him because that doesn't really make sense either, considering they're both righties. I think IKF is a righty as well, and then Donaldson is as well. So I don't know. They're going to have to do the whole situation of, okay, you're going to need a day off today, and or DJ, you're going to go play there. And here's the other thing, too. Listen, as much as you hate to say it and think about it, somebody's going to get hurt. At some point, somebody throughout the season is going to get hurt.
What about your outfield? Sorry, I'm just throwing this out here.
No, outfield is pretty set. I think that they still need to sign a backup center fielder, I should say, not center. That can be confused.
I knew what you mean, but at first, I'm not going to lie. I was like, center, wait, what? Oh, okay.
They need to sign a backup center fielder because, I mean, Aaron Hicks is technically supposed to be there, but he hasn't been healthy the last 2 seasons, so I don't know if I really have confidence in him being healthy this year. Right field is going to be Judge, and I think left field they're going to play Gallo. They're going to DH Stanton again, and I think Stanton and Gallo will switch out between DH, and I think Judge will switch out with DH so he can get off of his legs a little bit as well. So I think the outfield, I'm fine with that, but it's the infield that's weird. And I'll say this, they might not have improved too much with batting, but their infield is a lot better. Glaber was a poor shortstop. Gio was all right at third. He made a couple splashy plays that made everybody think that he was above average. I guess if you look at his analytics, technically, once again, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I'll just go with what people are saying to try and make me feel better. If you go look at his analytics, he's like a below average defensive third baseman. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa won a Gold Glove at third base last year. So they're going to move him over to short. Donaldson's going to play third. And the only way the trade really becomes successful is if Donaldson stays healthy, I guess. Because I think they really wanted Falefa the most. Because they tried to trade for him from the Rangers first, and then he got traded to the Twins, and then the Yankees finally got him in this deal. But to do that, they had to take all the money with Donaldson. So I don't know. You hope Donaldson stays healthy, but then again, Michael, we talked about injuries. If he doesn't stay healthy, then DJ has a spot to play the entire year. So it's kind of just that weird situation of I don't know how they're going to play everybody. And I also don't think they're done either. I don't think they're done, though, because I could see a world because they're 100% going to trade Luke Voit. There's no doubt in my mind because if anything, DJ can be your backup first baseman if anything happens to Rizzo. So they have no need for Voit anymore. I think they're going to end up trading Voit somewhere. I don't know where he's going to be traded to. And then, honestly, I could see a world, too, that maybe if they do want to keep Voit or something like that, maybe they trade Glaber. Maybe you get rid of Glaber, you package him with somebody, and you free up second base for him instead of Glaber because that's the other thing. The Yankees are in on Frankie Montas and Sean Manaea over there in Oakland. I believe I got their names right. I hope I did, or else I just sounded stupid.
Sound like me?
I was right. Let's go. They were in on Montas and they were in on Sean Manaea as well because the A's, I mean, if you haven't figured it out, are doing a fire sale of their team at the moment, which we haven't even gotten into that yet either. But like I said, there's so much stuff in baseball to talk about right now. After me and Michael did, countless number of shows, we had to make top 10 lists of every single thing possible to make content for you guys. But you know what? I'm not complaining, Michael, because I think we did fantastic, by the way. That's why you come to this show, for nothing but greatness. But yeah, I could see a world where they trade Glaber and maybe some other pieces and they try and get pitching back because I think that's a thing that the Yankees are still worried about. I mean, you obviously know that you have Cole. After that, it's a little up in the air because you're kind of counting on Severino to stay healthy again, which he hasn't been in a couple of years. If he can turn the clock back to what he was, and I believe, what was that year, like 2019, 2018 maybe, where, for the first half of the year he was a Cy Young candidate, and you compare that with Cole, then you have a great one too. Jameson Taillon came on at the end of the last year, pitched very well. So if he can keep that up, then you're good. Jordan Montgomery pitched pretty well the entire season as well. So you have Cole as your clear-cut number one, and after that you have question marks. So that's why I think they should be very aggressive with the Manaea and the Montas trade. Then I know that they've been in on it. And listen, like I said before, I despise Trevor Bauer. He's such an annoying human being. But if they could somehow, strike a deal with him and if it was Cole that he was beefing, which now me and Michael don't know. He thinks it's Beaver. I think it's Cole. Well, who cares? Whatever. You try and go and get him. Maybe your Reds do end up trading Castillo, and the Yankees try and get him. I know he was terrible in the first month of the season last year, but correct me if I'm wrong, Michael. He pitched pretty well after
July, yeah. And now, as far as fantasy, they have him ranked 36 overall. So I mean,
yeah. So there's just a lot of things that I have questions about. And here's the other thing, right? I think they increased their payroll by like $50 million. And you didn't get that much better. And I think that's what makes Yankee fans mad. Now, here's the thing. I've always been more of a normal Yankee fan. Like, if you go on Yankee Twitter, it's literally one of the most annoying things you can ever do in your entire life. The minute anybody gets signed, oh, I can't believe it. We're so cheap. Well, look at us now. Like, what do you expect? You think the Yankees are going to have a $400 million payroll? Like, I'll hate to break it to you. I think their payroll is like $240 right now, $250. They're not cheap. They're spending a ton of money to try and put winners on there. It hasn't happened. Is it disappointing? Absolutely. But here's the other thing, too. You know why the Steinbrenners are a billionaire? Because they own the Yankees. That's their source of income. You want to know why Steve Cohen can spend all this money? Because I think his payroll might end up being like $290. Steve Cohen burns $290 million to light a fire at night. Do you know how much money Steve Cohen is worth? I think it's like $16 billion. The Mets are Steve Cohen's G.I. Joe. He does this because he wants to own a baseball team. The money means absolutely nothing to him.
Right now, the Mets are the top as far as payroll with, basically $250 million. You were right on it. Did you know that?
Oh, wow. I did not know that, honestly. But,
okay.
Hey, I'll accept it.
And then number 2 is the Yankees, and that is, bless you, if that was a cough or sneeze, sorry.
Whatever. I'll take it. I need to be blessed.
The Yankees, you do. Now let me rephrase that. It's the 26-man roster. The Mets are at 200. Actually, they're $249,099,999. The Yankees' 26-man payroll is $225 million. I'll just say that. And then injured reserve, which I don't know who that would be, is $15.7 million.
I don't know who it would be either.
And then it drops to the Dodgers at 196, basically 197 million. The Padres at.
Here's the other thing. There's no way this is updated.
It says 2023 payroll.
I could have swore that the Mets were up in like the 280s. Or like a very high number. But whatever. I don't know. I could be wrong on that once again. Let's see what Jake say over here. Not you, but I don't consider the majority of Yankee fans human beings. He's worth $14 billion. Go Mets! Listen, you guys, the Mets. Congratulations on having a billionaire owner. Like seriously, the Mets went from like, oh, we're not going to spend money here because we have the Wilpons to Steve Cohen going, yeah, I literally don't care how much money it is, just get him. And I think you really saw that when they signed Max Scherzer. He skipped like $7 million. Because I think the highest pay before that was like 36. And I think, what are they paying Max? Like 43.5? He's just skipped $7 million. Like, screw it. I want Max Scherzer. I'm going to go get Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
And you can do that.
Just don't care.
There's no salary.
This is a hobby for him in a way.
It is. No, like I said, this is literally like me and you buying a G.I. Joe action figure.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
listen, Baltimore's payroll for next year is $24 million. The Pirates is $22 million.
See, this is why I don't feel bad for smaller teams. You're not even trying at that point. I don't care what market you're in. There's no way you should have a $24 million payroll. You're not trying, and you expect me to care? Not me. Even your fans to care? I'm sorry, bro. You're not trying. Because you're making probably $80 million from the luxury tax. from what the Yankees and the Mets and the Dodgers and the Padres and all those teams spend. And I'm having a $24 million payroll. Yeah, I'm good. Go cry wolf to somebody else. I'm good. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Yankees are going to make more moves. I think Voigt's going to be gone. I wouldn't be surprised if Glaber was. But then again, if you trade Voigt, I don't know if you can trade Glaber because then you need a backup first baseman, and I don't know who it would be because DJ can be your backup first baseman if you trade Voigt. So that just leads to more stuff. But I have no idea. We're going to find out. The season is still about 3 weeks away. But Mike, do you have any thoughts on what my guys did?
Okay, this actually still has Anthony Rizzo in free agency, so it must not be completely updated.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I was going to say you can add about, well, I think he got 2 years for, I don't remember, actually.
I don't know because, sorry, gotten you a little off track there probably, but honestly did a fantasy draft tonight at 9:30. It's just a 6-man team. I honestly didn't even know I was doing the draft until 9 o'clock. So it didn't really have
2 year, 32 million. So what? You can add 16 million.
Okay.
16 million to whatever that payroll was.
But I know DJ tore it up 2 years ago. Last year did okay. I always like him on my fantasy team just because he is so versatile where you can play him first, second, third, I think it is. So I looked at him. I was like, I'd like to draft him since, it's kind of late in the rounds here. But at the same time, what are we really going to get from him? So we don't know. And I think he's kind of player that you do want to keep for a utility guy. So he ain't going nowhere, I don't think at all. But who goes, who knows? I'm with you. You're the more of a Yankee fan there. I can't say I know anything about him. I just think you have to play DJ somehow, don't you? Like you're not going to have him a utility guy just to ride the pine, right?
No, I would much rather him be an everyday player.
Yeah, like an everyday utility player in a way.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather him be an everyday utility player than a bench utility player, if that makes any sense.
Like
I think the
one
more
day you're first base, second day you're second base, third day you're third. Then you're
exactly.
off.
I think the more you have him on the field, the better your team is. Because
do you think he can play outfield?
I think he would do it if he was told to. How good is he at it? I don't know if he's ever actually done it. So I couldn't tell you. But Cameron Maybin was actually on the Michael K show today because he joined Yes.
K.
Oh yeah, Michael? As if you haven't started watching the show? Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you tell everybody that, huh? Little secret there.
Just turn it on and it's just so on. I put in YouTube and do lockout and it pops up, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Let me turn it on.
But he was on the K show today because he's actually joining the Yankee booth as an announcer. And they asked him about DJ, and he was like, people don't realize that I think he said that he's like a top 5 hitter in baseball, like pure hitter.
Oh, wow.
So
could he DH
that's high praise.
Put Stanton out?
What happened?
Could he DH and have Stanton be outfield?
Oh, well, yeah, but then you're losing somebody in the outfield.
Which technically, I mean, that's probably the weak spot, ain't it?
I mean, I don't know. Do you consider an outfield of Gallo, Judge, and Hicks a weakness?
I mean,
if anything, Hicks is the weakness, and then you could put Judge in center, Stanton in left, Gallo in right, and then DH DJ. But you're not going to have – the Yankees don't want to play Judge in center field a lot because it's just a lot of wear and tear on his legs.
Well, let's just say this team is definitely very versatile because, I mean, they can do that lineup just so everybody gets a rest,
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it, honestly.
Right.
But I just don't know how much you're going to see it. Let's see. What else do we got here? I guess we should get into some of those trades as well. Speaking of your Blue Jays, actually, Michael.
Watch out.
I want to get into some of those if I can find them. Because let's see. I know that they got Matt Chapman, but didn't they trade for somebody else too? That was like a big deal. Might lying to myself here.
Honestly, like I said, like there's so much that happened.
So much. So they got Matt Chapman from the A's, though. They gave up Gunnar Hoglund, Kevin Smith, Zach Logue, and Kirby Snead. This gives the Blue Jays a B grade, huh? Okay. Oh, and also give the Athletics a B grade. Matt Chapman, a little bit worse than I thought when it comes to batting. I did not realize that he was a 220 hitter. But even with that being said, I believe, if I'm not mistaken,
It's
he's also
not bad
won.
nowadays.
Actually, no, you make a great point too. That's not the worst. He batted. Let's see. Last year he batted .210, hit 27 home runs, 72 RBIs, and I mean the A's just aren't a very good team. So take that into account. 3-time Gold Glove, 2-time Platinum Glove winner as well. So you have third base on lock now. Like that is an absolute no errors. Everything hit his direction is gobbled up type of thing. So they'll be good on that. I know they signed a pitcher too. Oh man, the Blue Jays did a lot. I think honestly, Michael, I know that you just want it to happen because you don't want me to be happy, of course. Blue Jays definitely, in my eyes, the best team in that division now. Oh yeah, they signed Kevin Gausman. Kikuchi is the pitcher that they signed though. They traded for Jose Barrios last year. So, I mean, they have a lot of pitchers. They have Springer, Guerrero, Chapman now, Bichette. Who was Gurriel, right? I want to say. Yeah, Lourdes Gurriel. I mean, they have
Do you know anything about that Kirby Snead?
Kirby Snead?
Yeah, he got. He's from. Let me read it. Oakland A's trade Matt Chapman to the Blue Jays for a couple of pitchers, really. 3 pitchers here in Smith, a shortstop. I mean, it's these prospects. I really didn't see too much on it. It has to be prospects that they're giving up on it. I'm sorry. I thought that was Oakland going to Toronto. I'll back out of that. Go ahead.
No, I just think the Blue Jays are going to be very good. I mean, obviously, this trade helps lock that up, locks third base down, like I said. They signed Kikuchi after lockout ended. They traded for Barrios last year. They still have Ryu. They signed Kevin Gausman before, who was very good last year. I mean, they put together an unbelievable team. Their lineup is very scary. It was scary last year, and that was before Chapman. Like I said, you just added, probably a 30 home run player to your team because, I mean, you got to remember when you play on a bad team, I think it was probably him and Olsen that everybody was actually paying attention to. So you're going to get the pitcher's best in that situation. But, you slide Chapman behind Guerrero and in front of Bichette. The pitcher's going to be like, all right, well, I mean, let me pick my battle here. I'm going to go hard after Guerrero. I'll take a little break for Chapman, and I'm going to come back against Bichette. Well, guess what? If you take a little break for Chapman, he's going to hit a 450-foot home run.
Yup. So, that's a solid batting lineup, too.
Oh, no, it's like I said, you're going to lead off with Springer. A lot of people like to bat their second-best player second, so you'll probably have Vladdy there. Then maybe Chapman, and then do you go with, Bichette? And then, like I said, I believe I think Teoscar Hernandez drove in 100 runs last year as well. I mean, it's 1 through at least 5 is just unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
And this was with them losing a lot of players, too.
Yeah, I thought they were going to take a step back. They lost
Robbie Ray,
who won the Cy Young.
Yeah.
They lost Marcus Semien, who had the best second base year of of any second baseman of all time. They lost some players, and I thought they were going to take a step back, and then they said, "Screw it, we're going to get some players. We're going to trade for some people," and they reloaded. And reloaded. And
I like it for them too because they didn't have the full season in Toronto last year. Last year they were, I want to say, Tampa Bay for a little bit or something like that.
Buffalo.
And then Buffalo. Was it really? I thought they went south.
Yeah. No, it was Buffalo.
Okay.
They played in the minor league stadium in Buffalo. And I only know that because, fun fact, Michael, I went to a hot wing festival in Buffalo, and it was in that stadium.
Oh, okay.
When I was like 9 years old. I went to the Anchor Bar where the original Buffalo wing was created.
Where do you bat BGO? Like, I'm trying to look here on MLB to see if there's like a lineup.
He's probably like in the 7 range. And imagine having him as your 7th hitter. I think a lot of teams would like him. They're going to be unbelievable. Like they're going to be. They could win 100 games easily.
Oh yeah,
very easily. I think right now it's the Rays, Blue Jays, and then the Yankees.
What about Boston though?
Boston lost Schwarber, Chris Sale. If you didn't see, like fractured a rib or something like that. He's out a couple weeks now, so he's not even going to be able to start the season. Because I mean, you think about it, fractured ribs has to recover from that. Then it usually takes the pitchers like 3 weeks to come back to build their arm back up. So I mean, he might be out the first 2 months of the season. I believe that I know they have Jackie Bradley Jr. back, but he can't hit worth anything. He's a very good fielder, just can't hit to save his life. But I think I would put the Yankees third. Boston could surprise us again and be unbelievable, but I could be wrong. You never know. But I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I'm very wrong. Actually, I hope the Yankees are the best team in the division. But listen, I'm a realist out here, Michael. What can I say?
Me too. Reds win in the World Series.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Absolutely.
I want to see the Matt Olsen trade too, because I know that. Oh come on! Why does it have to be ESPN Plus? I don't have it logged in on my computer.
Let's see here. He went to
the A's, or not the A's, Jesus, the Braves. So, but I mean, we can get into that anyway. So Matt Olsen, like we said, we talked about earlier, Freddie Freeman went to the Dodgers. They need another first baseman, so they went out and got Matt Olsen. And then
they actually got Olsen first.
Yeah, they did. And then they immediately also signed him to a contract. I believe he got like 8 years, 100. Let's see, Matt Olsen. Let's look at his contract real quick. I gotta make sure that I get this right. He got an 8-year, $168 million contract. Which, by the way, fire your agent, Matt Olsen. Fire your agent, because Michael, listen. I know he's making all that money anyway. We have to get out of that. We're never gonna make that money in our lives. Cry about it.
Right, I understand.
Gonna head out.
Hey, Jake, thanks for joining in.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you.
We appreciate it.
Back.
I'm gonna give you a follow real quick before you leave.
But he had 2 years left of arbitration, and then could have became a free agent. So I don't have no idea why he would sign a deal now. Because imagine you have 2 more years like you just had.
Well,
he probably would have been making $30 million a year, and I think he's making like 21. So, but whatever. Congratulations, you just secured $168 million for you and your family over the next 8 years. I guess you can't technically complain.
He's
but
from
with
Georgia,
that being said, so I did not know that.
Yep, he's from Atlanta.
The Athletics received Christian. I want to say Pache, Shea Langoliers, Ryan Cusick, and Joey Estes.
Could you say that Shea name again, please?
Langoliers. Okay.
This guy, you mean?
Oh,
Shea Langoliers? Yep.
Interesting development.
Just throwing that out there. I actually think he's going to be a good catcher this year. I think it was a nice move. Actually, bought his Bowman Chrome first before the trade happened, taking a shot. Heard a lot of actually talking from prospects that he was going to be was showing a lot of power in spring training, and then the next day I buy it, and then in the next day he's traded. So I'm hoping he does some good things this year, and then I can sell that baby. Carry on.
I'm trying to find where because I know that it was like a lot. Like they were high prospects in the Braves, like in the Brave pecking order, I should say. I guess it is. So let's see here. I'm trying to see if I can find like what numbers. I think because I think it was like they're like first. They're like their best prospect. Their like third prospect, 7th and 10th. So I mean, listen, you got Matt Olsen, but it also wasn't cheap,
right?
Both monetarily and prospect wise, obviously.
I do think Shea was 7, so I do think you're correct on that at least. I know we're guessing.
I mean, it was definitely a lot to give up for him, but I mean, a lot of he's a very good baseball player as it is. Let's see, Pache had 2 sources ranked him number 38 and number 84 nationally for him. I guess Langoliers was the number 2 prospect. Estes was the number 14 prospect. And then Cusick was the number 6 prospect.
In their organization?
What?
Is that in their organization?
No, yeah, that's in their organization, not overall.
Here it is, 2020 or 2022. Shea is actually the 59th overall. AAA right now says he's 24 years old, 6 foot, 205, bats right, throws right. MLB debut should be 2022.
I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. I don't blame the Braves for doing it. I know everybody wants Freeman to come back because he's not from there. He's from California, which is why he went to the Dodgers apparently. But his career started there. Obviously, he helped them win the World Series. He's loved there, but Olsen's younger than him. And if you sign Freeman, because you have to also remember, Freeman at the end of his contract is going to be 38.
Yep.
Like the last 2 or 3 years of Freeman's contract, he might not be a very good player. And, for a team like the Dodgers, that probably doesn't matter. Because we all know that they have money to blow no matter what. For the Braves, it might matter a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. The Braves don't get fooled. They print money. And and the only reason people know that they print money is because they're actually, Michael, believe it or not, like the only team that's public. Because they're owned by some company, which means they have to make their expenses public, which is why everybody knows how much they make every year, and they print money. So I don't feel bad for the Braves, but I understand the deal. I like Olsen. I wanted the Yankees to trade for him so bad. Like, you have no idea how bad I wanted Olsen on the team. But I also understand why they didn't, because if you're the Yankees, you probably would have to give it up Volpe, which is the next in line at shortstop, and Jason Dominguez, who everybody thinks is going to be a crazy center fielder. And so I understand why they didn't, but I like the trade for the Braves as well, because, I mean, now you look at their lineup too. I mean, you got Matt Olsen, you got Ozzie Albies, Acuna's back. I mean, they have a very good lineup as well. So it's not. I don't think that the Braves are going anywhere. I think the Mets have shortened the gap, I should say, but the Braves probably still are the best team in that division, maybe.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to agree with you. Because I still think the Mets are going to Mets this year. Now, watch the Phillies. I think the Phillies are not done making moves. I actually think Nick Castellanos may end up being a Philly, and I really don't want him to. I think that'd be a nice little pair with Bryce. Do what?
I said they signed
Schwarber as well. So I think the Phillies.
Wait, or was it the Nationals?
I think it was the Nationals. That you said that too.
Was it?
No, he used to play for him.
Oh no, then it was definitely the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber. Let's see here. No, it was Phillies. Okay, I was right. See, why do I guess? Why do I second guess myself? How dare I? I'm a smart man.
So
Damn,
I
you
don't
had a
know.
291 for the Red Sox last year? Crazy.
So I think the Phillies are going to make some moves because outside the Braves, who stepped back a little bit but then made some noise again to come back. I won't say fully reloaded, but they didn't really lose too much. And then the Braves really, let's be honest, the Braves sucked last year until after the All-Star break. Then they caught on fire and stayed on fire.
They were the best team in baseball the entire second half. It was crazy.
The entire second half. But the first half, they stunk. They were awful. They were under 500. So, I mean, I think this division can kind of look at it and say, okay, we can fight off this Braves team if we stay hot or if we jump early and stay hot the whole time. So, and Bryce, after having, he won the MVP last year. So I think they're going to try to build with that because he's not getting any younger. So, I mean, it's either get into it now or let him go and trade Joey Votto. So I think they're going to make some noise too still. I mean, there's still a lot of players in free agency that's available.
I know.
Story's still out there.
Still out there. Story.
Correa. Have you heard that there's actually him linked to the Orioles?
I know. I saw that. They offered him 10 years, $300 million.
Although,
I mean, hey.
I do have something Orioles in here.
See, here's the thing. Apparently, I heard today that the Orioles are like kind of coming out of their tanking period because they have a couple prospects that are like MLB ready, like what is it, Aldi Rutschman or something like that.
Sure.
Who's supposed to be a very good catcher. I think he's like the best prospect in baseball. Or that or Bobby Witt Jr., I think it is.
Oh, it's the number one catcher, the Adley, or that's how I would say it. Adley Rutschman.
Yeah. And then what? Number 2 is that shortstop for the Royals, right?
Bobby Witt. He's actually third right now. Oh, wait, let's see here. This might have it as 2021. Let me go back. No, yep, 2021.
Who's number 2?
Julio Rodriguez. But actually, in 2022, Julio Rodriguez is 3, the Adley is 2, and then Bobby Witt's number 1.
Okay. Yeah, so apparently, like, some people think the Orioles are coming out of it. So, I mean, I guess there's no better way to come out of a tanking period than to get your number 1 prospect in baseball up into the majors and then sign Carlos Correa.
And even Grayson Rodriguez, who is their 6th overall in the MLB ranking, is their second best right-handed pitcher. He's only 22 years of age, 6'5", 220 pounds, and they expect him to be in the rotation this year too, I think.
Okay, see? So if you're starting to come out of the tanking period, you're talking about making a splash with Correa. Here's the thing. I think Correa goes back to the Astros on like a 1-year deal. I really do.
They actually have a third in the tops, or in number 64, Gunnar oh my goodness.
Hernandez?
Henderson. There we go.
Okay.
They don't expect him to come up until 2023, though. Wow. There's another one right there. 66. They've got 4 in the top 66.
I mean, hey, when you're tanking for that long and you sell off all your pieces and have a lot of number 1 draft picks, I would hope you got some good prospects.
5 in the top 100. That's pretty impressive.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Correa is going to go back to the Astros for like 1 year, and like they're going to overpay him and just try and run it back one more time. I think they're going to give him like 1 year, 35. Or then let him become a free agent next year when the shortstop class isn't. But again, I think next year the shortstops are like, I think like Trey Turner, Xander Bogaerts is a free agent. Correa would be a free agent again. I don't know, but I think they're going to overpay him and he'll go back for like a year or 2. Because I don't know what team is going to sign him now.
Yeah, I mean,
he was linked to the Dodgers a lot. No, he was linked to the Yankees. The Yankees obviously aren't doing it. The Cubs signed.
What if the Reds signed him? How hilarious would that be?
Oh,
We're dumping all this. You know what? He's just out there. Let's just give all that money we saved to him.
Hey, go ahead, Michael. If it makes you If it, maybe it'll help make the fan base happy.
Well, I mean, we were in on Trevor's story last year or year before last. So, I mean, technically, there's still a chance Trevor's story, I guess. I mean, there's nothing being said on that. Obviously, if that were to happen, I just spoke it into
I don't know where either one of them are going. I really have no idea.
I mean, even that's what's crazy with those two. Like, Freddie Freeman, we thought Yankees, Dodgers, or Braves. Like, it was pretty much numbered down. And then now it's already said, like, he never wanted the Yankees. So that was just kind of told to us because he didn't want the cold weather. So his wife really just wanted to be out in L.A. So that's why he went to L.A. So, I mean, almost we hear his stuff, but we kind of know at least 4 or 5 teams. But have you heard anything with Trevor's story?
No. I literally haven't heard a thing.
It's like with Nick Castellanos either. You haven't really heard much with him. Other than the Reds are not talking to him.
Yeah, which I can't imagine not even like saying nothing. That's crazy. I don't know. I guess like I said, I think Correa goes back for like 1 year, tries it again next year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Story does because I'm trying to, unless he does the same thing with some random team. He's like, yo, just let me play for you for 1 year and I'll go back into free agency next year.
See, I would do a 2-year. I would do a 2-year. No matter what, I would do at least a 2-year with trades. Like, okay, I'll sign with you. You give me my money, but I'm also want that second year just for the fact that you can trade me when we suck to a team that's contending. Like, why would you do a 1 year?
Let me look up Carlos Correa. Maybe there'll be some team linked. Let's see. Top 10 remaining free agents. So why haven't we heard about? Let's see. Free agent options. How about this? This was posted a day ago. No, won't be here. Okay, so Astros is the number 1. Phillies is the 2.
Ooh.
Yankees are 3. I'm telling you, it's not happening. Nationals, Cubs, Angels, Twins. Twins? I have heard a little bit about the Twins.
Mm-hmm. Twins are making some noise. I think they.
I would love him to go to the Angels. Oh my God.
Oh, that would be nice, just for baseball.
Put him on the Angels with Trout and Ohtani and help Rendon has a healthy year. Be pretty good. Michael, you know who's not going to have a healthy year though? And this is the last thing because my voice is giving out too. Man, Tatis, man, what are you doing? Broke his wrist or something? Has a fracture in his wrist? Is going to be out a few months. And the worst part about it is, first of all, I guess people have never heard the term deny. Because what was with Calvin Ridley in the NFL, talking about, I only bet 1,500. Like, bro, I would have been like, yo, my mom's brother's sister's girlfriend, like, went on my phone and placed a bet and thought she was logged into her account. And this man just full out admitted it. Tatis got asked what happened about his motorcycle accident. Do you know what he said, Michael?
What's that?
He said, which one are you talking about? Like, are you really that dumb?
Oh, my goodness.
So that means he's been in multiple accidents on his motorcycle. And here's the other thing, Michael. Do you know like the actual story of how the Yankees got Alex Rodriguez?
I do not. Please fill me in.
So Aaron Boone was going to be their third baseman, and I believe like in the winter or something like that, or maybe towards spring training, he was playing basketball, which he used to do to stay in shape during the offseason, and he destroyed his knee.
Okay, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, and then the Yankees voided his entire contract. They voided his contract, and then they went and got A-Rod. You think that the Padres are going to pay? Why? If you're the Padres, why would you?
Which is weird.
No.
That
you're
Aaron
not going to
Boone
void his
and
contract.
Rodriguez.
I know, right? You're not going to void his contract. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going that far. But you don't think the Padres are going to be like, bro, are you an idiot? Why we're not paying you this year? You broke your wrist on a motorcycle. Wait, and Michael, teams build these things into contracts. Like, it's literally in contracts. Like, you can't play basketball. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do that. Because they're trying to protect their investment.
Well, it's like, and you might be too young for this, but Ben Roethlisberger had a big motorcycle wreck. And then they actually put it in. Huh?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was apparently in his younger years, he was quite a partier. And they were really worried about him having a bad wreck, and something happened with motorcycle, and they're like, hey, we want to put this in the contract that you do not ride your motorcycle. That way we know you are healthy, because, quarterback is kind of important, and Ben,
just
you
a tad bit.
Shouldn't be running a motorcycle around on that situation there. My headphones just did something weird. Things still good? Yeah, we still rolling.
Loud and clear.
Okay, but so yeah, I hate history, and all I can think of is, growing up in school hearing history is we learn history because we don't want it to repeat itself. Like, athletes, pay attention to other athletes so you don't repeat what they did. Like, don't jeopardize those situations like that. Why even try to put that in there? I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like I said, I truly would not be surprised if the Padres were like, yo, we're avoiding the contract this year of your contract. Because you're not getting injured with a baseball thing. You're getting injured on something you're doing off the field and being dumb about. Because I hate to say it too, like, if it's multiple crashes, which is what he said, you're clearly riding like an idiot. You don't get into multiple accidents on accident. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to at least say this. If he's been in multiple motorcycle wrecks or accidents and he's only had a broken wrist, he might not be doing that bad. He just may be a bad driver.
Okay, but either way, even if you're a bad driver, you think a motorcycle is what you should be on?
I mean, I agree with you on that, but I'm just saying, if he's being a daredevil on this thing, he would probably already been dead if he's like that bad in multiple wrecks. But
we're super lucky. Like, did you? Oh, that's the other thing. Did you see what happened to Pete Alonso?
No.
That him and I think it might have been just him. He was in the car and somebody T-boned him because they ran a red light.
They ran a red light. Yeah,
over 3 times. He had to kick out the window shield to get out. Unbelievable. Apparently, his wife was driving behind him too. Could you imagine that?
Oh man, that would be terrifying.
Like, she because I think she gave an interview too. She said she said I thought I just watched my husband die. Man. And he walked away fine, like completely fine, which is just unbelievable. I think he said shout out Ford for making such safeguards or something like that.
Pete Alonso breakout year.
I'm all good there, Michael. There ain't nothing else. I mean, we did an hour 37 anyway.
Yeah.
Look at us talking about baseball all this time. We went from not having any topics to having too many.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Well, Michael, tell everybody where they can find you then, and we'll skedaddle on out of here. Right?
Alrighty. You can find me, Backstop Banter on Twitter. Also, MD Lawson 00 on Twitter, Instagram, everything on those have my link tree in my bio and all that whole jazz. Saturday nights is when our show used to be for Count the Bucket. We're going to try to be moving that to Sunday night around 9:30 p.m. on Eastern time. So check me out on there as well for Count the Bucket. And of course, what we have here, we have it on podcast as well for Backstop Banter and Count the Bucket. Colorcast, we love our partnership we have going on with them. So guys, if you listen to this on podcast or you're watching us on our streams here, also download the Colorcast app, watch us live on there, because we just really appreciate the partnership there, and it does make our wallets a little bit more heavier, and we do appreciate that.
This is a true statement. Listen, everybody knows what it is for me by now. Anthony Conover _ over there on Twitter. Mondays, Generational Sports. Me and Josh talk about everything at 7 Eastern. Tuesdays, do the hard count. Me and CJ, everything in the NFL world. It's kind of like this show, but an NFL version. And then, as Michael said, we do this show 9 Eastern every Thursday. You can follow all those podcasts. We're available everywhere. Gen Z, Hard Count, and Backstop Banter is available everywhere. You listen to podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts as well. Colorcast app, like Michael said, greatly appreciated if you go on over there, hit a follow for us. We love the partnership over there. But I'm clearly dying, as you can hear in my voice. So with that being said, wonderful episode, Michael. Baseball is almost here. Actually, we had our first spring training games today, technically.
Oh, really? I've had
Yeah.
to work all day today.
I know the Yankees' first televised one is on Sunday, so I will definitely be watching that one. And we have a bunch of spring training games tomorrow. So, hey, go look at the MLB schedule, see if your favorite team is playing, and go on and root for them. Let us know how they're doing. Let us know if there's anybody we got to be on the lookout for. But with that being said, thank you, everybody, for tuning in.